I have been in the real estate game for over 20 years, and during that time I have had millions of dollars flow through these hands. They're like magic hands. But yet when I look at my bank account, I think to myself, there should definitely be a lot more money in here. Now, just to clear things up, I'm not struggling at the moment. I live in an amazing home. I enjoy an amazing lifestyle. I have no regrets. Now, I'm not gonna be like one of those guys on the internet showing you their cars or their garage, because you know what makes me proud? Toilet paper. I've got lots of it. Now imagine if I had my act together. Think about all the toilet paper and the money I would have had. So in this video, what I want to do is I want to share with you what happened and why it happened. Because I want to help you avoid the same issues that I had. Because it's not just about avoiding the money problems, but also all the mental hardship that comes along with struggling for money. It takes an emotional tone on you. I know. And I just don't want you to go through the same hardships. Here's the deal with these lessons. They're pretty interconnected. Each lesson builds on the next one. So you got to build that foundation of the first few lessons to really take advantage of the subsequent lessons. And don't let the fact that I'm talking about real estate here fool you. This stuff applies to any business, any venture. They are universal lessons. Now, the first lesson that really hit me hard was that mind-blowing disparity between being a hustler and being a business person. When I first started in real estate, I was desperate. I mean, I grew up on welfare and food stamps, so money was something that was not around when I grew up. So I went out and I got mentors that were going to teach me precisely how they were getting deals. So I could find the same type of deals and I could make the same type of money that they were. And that worked. But what happened is I never got out of that path. I was always very tactical about finding that next person or that next strategy that was going to help me find that next deal so I can keep the money machine going. Instead, what I should have transitioned to is how do I become a better business person? And I did do that, but I did it really late. I'm talking about just in the last few years. So where is the transition from hustler to a business person? The mindset of a hustler is that you are using your own willpower, your work and perseverance in order to make the business happen. It is all on you. It is a one-man or a one-woman sport. Conversely, when you're thinking of it as a business person, then you're looking at your business as its own organism. You're looking to grow something that doesn't require your daily input, that operates without you. Regardless of if you're on vacation, you're sleeping, you're spending time with your family, your business is still producing. And that can only happen with capital and humans. Now, you do need to make money in the business through the hustler mode, so then that way you could eventually transition into the business person. What I should have done is found someone that was going to allow me to look at the business in a different way, that was going to teach me how to take a step back from the business and look at it as a business person instead of a hustler, to give me a different way of operating inside of that business. So that way I can grow it, I could expand it while decreasing the amount of time that it required from me. That meant that then I could have opportunities to look at other businesses and look at other things that would continue to grow my wealth and my income. The next lesson is that your business bank account is definitely not your personal piggy bank. So I never made any money. And all of a sudden, I hit the jackpot. I had loads of money just flowing through. I'm talking about a mere $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 at a time. Suddenly, my bank account was overflowing with tons of cash. And I thought, well, hey, that's just free money. Clearly, I should have been pondering, how can I expand my business? What brilliant hires should I be making? Perhaps there might be some genius marketing strategies that I could implement in order to fuel my growth. But no, not me, of course. As a guy who had been poor all of his life, I had a revelation. You know what I need? A $100,000 car. I mean, it's the most logical thing, right? So I took that money from my business bank account and I treated it like a personal slush fund. And boy, did I deliver. It was a BMW 650, the brand new model of the year. I spent hours calling all sorts of dealers to find that perfect shade of black on black. Finally, Brayman BMW of Miami reached out to me. And you won't believe what I said. The epitome of car negotiation finesse. They called me and excitedly exclaimed to me, Chico, we have that car that you've been looking for. And then I brilliantly exclaimed, oh, please don't sell it. I'll be there in 20 minutes. I mean, who needs negotiation skills? In the end, I found myself shelling out a measly $1,600 a month for that beauty. Oh, the joy of sipping my Starbucks coffee while driving that beautiful machine here or there all around town. Let me assure you, I am not here to judge. If you're into fancy cars and that really juices you, then hey, go for it. But trust me, it was not the epitome of proper decision making for my business. Now, if you're curious about how to avoid such remarkable choices when it comes to business finance, I highly recommend a little book called Profit First. It's an absolute masterpiece on how to integrate your business finances along with your personal finances and make really good decisions. That way you don't end up emulating my exceptional display of financial brilliance. The next lesson I learned is that you have to continually expand your time horizon longer and longer and longer so that you can make better decisions. As I started off brand new, my time horizon was, I'm gonna make some money, otherwise I'm not gonna have enough money to pay my bills at the end of the month. So everything was focused on that very short window. So what took me too long to realize is that I was making a ton of money was coming in, and it never occurred to me and say, hey, maybe you should take some of this money and buy some stuff that later on will grow and will create wealth and bring you passive income. That never occurred to me. I'll give you an example. We used to buy and sell these crappy little houses in Liberty City down in Miami for $35,000 or $40,000. That's what we would pick them up and then sell them for, $55,000 or $60,000. We'd make good money on them, sometimes as much as $20,000 or $30,000 if we got a pretty good deal. Now get this, those same properties are worth $350,000 to $400,000. If I would have held just 10 of those, just imagine, millions of dollars. But no, of course not. I was looking at things short term. I was like, hey, let's take that vacation. Let's get that car. Let's go out to the club and have some fun. And in the end, I shot myself in the foot big time. Because I could have had those properties paid off completely, giving me a nice rental income. I could be sipping pina coladas or drinking my favorite drink, of course, which is tequila and a margarita. Or I could simply have said the hell with all of them and just sold them and make a ton of cash. But that wasn't what happened. And now those properties are terribly overpriced and the opportunity is gone. The next lesson I learned on this glorious journey of financially bad decisions was don't try to be your own doctor. When I started to make a lot of money, I had a little bit of a chip on my shoulder. Driving down the street, balling in that nice BMW 650. I'm traveling, going to the club, doing all these things. I was like, I got it. I'm big shit right now. No, actually, Chico, you don't know shit. Because I thought that I was too good and too smart to get help. And that's the reason why it took so long to move from hustler to business person. Because I was drinking my own Kool-Aid and I thought I knew everything. Nobody can teach me anything. I got it. I'm sure that you have had a conversation with a friend or two and they're telling you their problems and you're listening to these problems and you're like, yeah. And then all of a sudden you think to yourself, Jesus, do you not see your problems? Are you insane? Hopefully you're not experiencing this with your husband or wife or somebody you really care about, because that could be problematic. But they have all these problems and you just feel like grabbing them by the neck and saying, do you not see what the problem is? If I would have gotten a business mentor, they would have looked at me and said, Chico, what the hell is wrong with you? You're spending all your money whoring around all over town. You're not saving any money for your future. You're not building up an asset base. What the hell is wrong with you? Get your crap together, otherwise you're going to have big problems later on. Nobody told me that. Nobody told me that. Even if they had, my head was up my ass so much and I was so egotistical that I would have listened anyway. Don't make that mistake. Don't be an asshole like I was. The next lesson I learned, oh my God, this is a good one. This is one that's bitten me in the butt so many times. I learned to always be mindful that you're always looking at somebody's magnificently laid out front stage and never their messy backstage. I always think about the 6 o'clock news as you're watching them and you're seeing them and everything is just so magnificently laid out. The lighting is perfect. The microphones, they're all dressed. They look like, wow, those people got it together. Oh, but if you dare just to step back just a little bit, suddenly you'll witness what's really behind the curtain. All that tangled mess of wires and lights and everything all over the place. That's what happens now on Instagram. Everybody is always flaunting their amazing success and you're like, oh, look at them, look at me. I feel so horrible now. The fact is that you're only really seeing a highlight reel of their success. It's like a movie. It's all make-believe. And so we end up just basing our decisions on just what we see right there in front of us, the facade. And if only we could have really peeked behind the curtain and seeing what is happening in the background, then maybe, just maybe, we wouldn't make such laughable choices. Let me tell you, my friends, in my illustrious real estate career, there have been many times when I have gazed upon somebody's business with pure, unadulterated jealousy. And I thought to myself, wow, they really have it all figured out. Their business is thriving and they're like the epitome of success. And oh, how I would berate myself for not being as fabulous as they are. Obviously, I would then try immediately to mimic their amazing strategies and their amazing tactics, only to be met with crushing disappointment. Why? Because I was blissfully unaware of what the real business was behind the scenes. But fear not, because at some point, through the backstories and maybe a little bit of industry gossip, I would eventually find out what was really happening behind the scenes. Their amazing business was crumbling behind the scenes. They were swimming in debt, making no money, and it was just this grand facade. Can you believe it? And yet here I was thinking it was the best thing since sliced bread. Silly me, silly me, silly me. So ladies and gentlemen, I implore you to always know that people are always showcasing the absolutely best part of their business. They are masters of the facade, desperate to make you believe the illusion that they're showcasing. Not me, of course. That toilet paper that you see in my garage, don't mind. I own it free and clear. But you definitely have to exercise caution when it comes to this, especially when you're looking at that person and wanting to follow in their footsteps. Because unless you possess that magical ability to peek behind the curtain and see really what's going on, you might stumble upon a world of hidden troubles. Because if only you knew what lurked underneath, you wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Nor would you even consider attempting that particular strategy or technique. Here's the deal. If you are just starting out, you are probably in hustler mode. And hey, it is completely okay to be there. The lessons are shared are meant for you, but only after you start making some dough and putting some money in your bank account. But at least you can kind of see where you need to be at as you start making that money. Or maybe you're already there. And if you are, congratulations. Now it's time to start looking at things quite differently. Because trust me, you don't want to end up like me. Well, kind of you do, with the big house and the cars and all the toilet paper too. Maybe just more of it. Because when all is said and done, I just want you to have an astounding amount of success, ensuring that every ounce of effort that you put into it pays off 1,000%. So yeah, if you stick to these lessons, I guarantee not only success, but also the joy of waking up 10 years from now with a huge bank account and absolutely zero pain and suffering and smiling from ear to ear. At the end of the day, I just want you to have amazing success, ensuring that every single ounce of effort that you put into your business gives you that 1,000% back and more. I guarantee not only success, but waking up 10 years from now with a huge bank account and very little pain and suffering.